Hi, welcome back to I Confess with Travis. I'm your host, Travis Bartlett, and today I'm going to be talking to a guy where he's talking about how he was abused by his own father. Well, let's just say what you're going to hear is not pleasant. Let me go ahead and take my first call. All right, so how you doing?
I'm doing pretty much like every other day, alright, I guess.
So I hear you got a story you want to tell.
Yeah, that's right. Alright, so, before I was born, actually, I was told by my grandmother this is what she said my father would do to my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they were alone, they would always get into arguments and everything, but my father, he would get physical. He would grab her by the neck, pick her up, and have her neck on like nails or screws that was sticking out of their house at the time.
So it was like he was abusing her and threatening her, basically.
Yeah, and then later on, whenever I was born, my mother died whenever I was 2. But before my mother died, I'm pretty sure, I can't remember what age it was that happened, but my father had given me a race car with 3 prongs in a triangle shape, and I fell. It was metal, and it just went right underneath my eye on my left side.
Ooh.
And my grandmother didn't know what happened. My aunt and all them, it was at the time, my aunt and them, they have a bunch of dogs. They now have a horse, chickens, ducks.
Okay.
I don't know what else they're getting. They said they want to get pigs, so I don't know.
So they want to start a farm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
But they're not going to have any crops. They tried that, and the planting soil they had died because they would bury their dead animals in the grass beside it.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the main story that I was saying. My father had gotten me that race car. I fell, went right into my eye. My aunt and them thought it was their dog. His name was Yeller.
Mm-hmm.
He was a mean dog, and they almost put him down. Luckily, they didn't because they saw the race car that my dad had given me.
Oh, so the dog almost got accused of what happened to you in the race car,
because of what
right?
my father did, yeah.
Wow.
And later on, going in to maybe about like whenever it was me going to my father's weekendly, I'm living with my grandmother because my mom's dead now.
Mm-hmm.
Like between the ages of 5 through or not even 13, 5 through 10, I was just going over there, and then my father stopped, no contact. Maybe even younger. I think it was 7.
Mm-hmm.
But I was 5. It was the first time I was going over there. I was happy. I get beat.
By your dad?
By my dad, yes.
Wow.
Well, I wasn't beat yet. Like, I was outside most of the day. My stepmom was inside taking care, or not, well, she was pregnant at the time, so she couldn't do anything. My father, he wouldn't lock the door, but Nicole would, not knowing I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was locked out all day until my dad got home.
Oh, wow.
And she would unlock it because she would hear his car pull up. And he thought it was unlocked all day. So
That's sad.
Yeah. My dad, though, he wouldn't know. So I would finally go in. I'd be dehydrated because I'd be outside playing with the dog all day. I'd try to go to the door. I'd try opening it up. She's asleep. She doesn't hear me. I'm sitting there trying to open the door, knocking. Like,
wow.
Now it's just... then later on, he had gotten another dog. He got rid of that main dog. Well, he got rid of that dog. I think it died, or it either ran away, or he probably gave it away for more drugs.
Oh.
And then the dog I have now with my grandmother is my dog Tweety.
Mm-hmm.
She's a sweet dog and all, but my father abused her. He
Oh,
would
wow.
throw her off the porch. He would kick her in the throat. All because they wouldn't let her out. And she would use the bathroom inside.
So she was just scared to go outside because of that.
No, she was scared to go inside.
Oh.
And she was scared of my father.
Oh, okay. See, that just sounds like abusive relationship. I mean, did you ever, like, contact the police or anything, or?
No,
Oh,
because
wow.
I didn't realize it was abusive.
Oh,
Because
wow.
I was, like, I was always getting yelled at. My cousin, he would always just punch me randomly. He still does to this day, even though, like, I still flinch, and he says, I gotta toughen you up. You don't gotta flinch. Because he would stop, then he would punch me for flinching, and it's like, dude, I only flinched because I was abused. He's like, oh, that's not an excuse. And I'm like, yeah, it kind of is.
Right.
Considering you don't really know fully what I've been through. And so, more with my father and everything. One time, their toilet was messed up. I had used the bathroom. I wiped. I put it in the toilet, not knowing that I couldn't. He made me pick it out with no gloves, the toilet paper.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, with no gloves, no grocery bag, no nothing. And I remember he left me with Nicole's mom, which Nicole is my stepmom.
Okay.
And I was left with her mom, which whenever we were all staying over there. No, like I was saying though, whenever I was with Nicole's mom, Nicole, her little stepbrother, he would molest me at night over there. And I didn't know that until a few months ago, actually.
Wow.
So, yeah. I remember one time as well, whenever I was 13, I was opening up to a priest about all of this, and a therapist. They both said they would rather just kill themselves if they were just me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in those years, I still love my father, of course. Like, in a way, he's
still abusive.
He's not really. We only see out in public now.
Oh.
So, but no, my father. We only see out in public now, so I still love him. I feel like I'm connected to him in a way because he's the one who technically gave birth to me. He's the only one alive. I should be connected to him. That's how I feel inside. But my body and my mind and my heart is telling me no. So, like, I'm just constantly at war with myself.
So it's like you're kind of like in a battle, like random battle, trying to figure out like what you should do with your life, or should you just keep...
Like, what do I do with my life?
Right.
Do I either kill myself, join the military, hopefully die, either stay alive, wait for others, give the curse of myself to my kids? Like, I wouldn't know. I still don't know what to do, actually, but I'm joining the military. I've made that decision. Whenever I turn 18, I am joining the military.
Okay, well, you know.
But like I was saying, like I said, I didn't know I was molested until a few months ago. And my father, he's still saying, oh, we're not trying to, like, ghost you. We're not talking to you. Your grandmother's keeping you from me. My grandmother's saying, oh, I'm not keeping you from them. I don't know who to believe because I'm getting told by my cousin and all them that they've been trying to get a hold of me. My grandmother won't answer or anything.
Right.
And I'm confused, and it's like...
It's like one story after another. They don't believe, like, what's the real truth, you know?
Exactly. And my little brother, I love him. He loves me. Like, he loved me. He completely forgot who I am. So that deeply does hurt me. Also, the main part where I was abused, I forgot to say this, my father, We were at one of his friends in the Hills house. They had a shovel out in the back. Riley was getting it, and I was trying to take it out. I couldn't. My friend, or not my friend, but the hippie's son came over there. He shoved it out with Riley right in front of there, and then they blamed it on me.
Wow.
And my father did abuse me. And then Nicole's stepbrother, or not Nicole's stepbrother, her younger brother, he also broke me and my little brother's tablet. He stepped on it. He didn't see it. Or, well, no, I take that back. He did see it. He said, "Oh, I see it, but I'm not going to step on it." And then he just smashed it.
Wow.
Then he looked at me. I said, before that, I said, "Hey, look out. The tablet's on the bed. Move it." Because he had thrown it down. Which him and his little sister, they had planned to get me in trouble. Because he left it there. They both planned. She literally stood there, looked dead at it, didn't say anything. I did. He said, "Oh, I'm not going to step on it," and then he stomps it. And then they blame it on me, saying I smashed it on the railing and then threw it on the bed. And then they blamed it on me. So my father comes home, like, he leaves blood blisters up and down my back and up and down my legs, on my tailbone. It literally, you could see, like, they were sticking out. That's how bad they were. So, whenever my grandmother saw that, they called DCS. They fought and everything. And I remember one time, my dad's dad had threatened to put my grandmother in jail and burn her house down if she had tried taking me from them again.
Wow.
If they got me back. Well, he said when they got me back. So.
Like, were you scared at the time?
Not really. I was just more worried. Because I would lose everything. My grandmother would go. I was like fucking 12 maybe. Sorry, pardon my French.
No, you good.
I didn't know if I could or not. I didn't know if I could.
Yeah, you can cuss on here.
See, I'm 16 now. I have this entire piece of my ankle chipped off. It happened last summer because I snuck out.
Oh, wow.
And I was running from the cops. I jump over a fence. I get up and I just kept running home. And now I have to have an MRI done.
Oh, wow.
Now, I'm really just in a lot of pain. So I don't know what to say.
I mean, I understand how much pain you are. Especially what you're actually going through.
Yeah, a lot of people say I do look older than I actually am.
A lot of people say the same thing to me. Like, I'm actually 33, and they look at me like, you don't look like you're 33. And they'll think of me like, oh, you might be like 18 or 21, you know?
Wow. No, I couldn't tell. I thought you were maybe 25.
But yeah. But anyway, thank you so much for actually telling me your story.
Yeah.
I hope things get a lot better for you, and I'm going to pray for you that things go well for you.
Thank you.
All right? All right. Bye.
Bye.
I can understand what this guy is actually going through right now because he's living in a abusive relationship with his family. I mean, there's like threatening, blaming, and other stuff. I get how he is very, how do I say, I wouldn't say crazy, but, you know, I would think if I was in that situation, you know, and if something ever happened, like something bad ever happened to me, of course I might report it to, you know, like schools, police, and child services, but I just think in that situation, I just think, you know, he needs like more professional help, especially what he was actually going through with his family abusing him, especially his dad. But it's it's crazy what kind of world we live in where you basically abuse your own kids and then you get to where you don't want to do anything about it. I mean, I know it's sad. I mean, I remember when my little nephew was like 23 months old and he was staying the night at his dad's house. And what I'm going to tell you is his dad is basically a narcissist. And my sister didn't even see it. None of us got to see it. But whenever he stays night at his dad's house, his dad didn't have any toys for him to play with. He only had like one pacifier at the time, and that's all he had. His son was to play with was a pacifier. His son was standing there crying, didn't know what to do. I mean, he was just scared. And of course, you know, my sister found out about it by another woman who basically has another kid with him, and things just kind of escalated. And all I can say is he's no longer seeing his child because of the abuse he did to my little nephew. But now Cameron is only 4 years old, and he is more happier to live with his mother than he is with his dad. But all I can say is don't abuse your own kids. It's not fun, and you will be able to lose custody of them. So, all I can say is if you ever end up in this situation, please report it to somebody, because you got people out there that are willing to help you. Alright? So, I'm going to go ahead and take a break, and I will be right back to take my second call. Welcome back. And today I'm going to be talking. Two girls are going to be telling me these superstitious evil spirit kind of stories. So, let's go ahead and take my second call. Alright, so how are you?
I'm good.
So I hear you got a story you want to tell.
Yeah. So when I was like 4 years old, my mom and dad were watching a horror movie in the living room, and so we had a house where there was a living room, kitchen, and then if you go farther, there was their room, and then if you go around the corner, there's a bathroom, and then if you go through the bathroom, it was our room, and you can also go through living room to get to our room. And they were watching a horror movie, and my dad had just flipped over on his sides, and he was gonna go to bed, and he screamed, "Oh my God, who's that?" Because I used to be a sleepwalker, and so I would sleepwalk into their room. I had really long hair, so I guess it would scare her or something. And so she ran to flip on the light, and when she said she looked over, there's no one there. And so then they walked in my room, and I was talking to, like, in my closet. I was talking to my closet. And then she said, "Autumn, what are you talking about?" I said, "What?" She said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Tell John it would be okay." Because my grandma had just died. My grandma died like 20 minutes before that happened.
I am so sorry.
That happened. And then so my grandma came over and asked my dad who he saw, and he pointed to a picture of my grandma who had just died, and so did I. We did at the same time.
Oh, wow. I'm so sorry for y'all's loss.
Yeah. But it's like, that was crazy. Wow. And then my grandpa came over because he was a priest, and he came over to call her back because that was his mom. And it turns out he pulled a demon into our house.
Oh, wow.
I also have a story, a short story. It's a funny one.
Go ahead.
So this story is about me and her, and we were doing like these like ghost rituals or something we found online because they were funny. And there's this one where you have a rope with a circle on I don't know what's inside. Was it a cup of water? It was like alcohol beverage. Oh yeah, we had to add like an alcohol beverage or something in the middle of it, and then what else did we do? We had rope around it. Yeah, I know that. And so like you would it was take a picture. You would take a picture and you go 1, 2, 3, act 5. You take a picture in the dark. But we were also supposed to have mirrors on our laps. So if we had the mirror thing, we would like see the ghost something in the mirror. But anyways, it didn't work. But when we started cutting the rope when we had to, we started panicking, and her bathroom door, her mom opened. Yeah, because her mom accidentally opened she closed it. No, she closed it and turned off the light, and the light somehow came back on, and the door slammed open. Dude, it was so funny. And then we started panicking. Oh my gosh, we were like yelling at each other to hurry up. Yeah, we were yelling. It was like 12 in the morning. We were like, Gus around! Oh my god, he's gonna come for us.
Oh wow. See, I've never had anything like that happen to me. I mean, I don't really know anything. I mean, I remember years ago we used to have this crazy neighbor in my neighborhood, and I'm not trying to tell you how possessed she was. Like when I tell you, every day she would clean the end of her driveway, like the beginning of it. Like like when you pull a car into the driveway, she'll start cleaning like the beginning of the driveway with like Lysol or some kind of cleaning solution or whatever. And then she'll start having like this caution tape that says do not cross. Then she'll have like these rocks like put in the beginning of her driveway so she can keep all the evil demons away from her. And I remember one time my sister said she came home from work one night and it was like late. And she said as she was driving, she said the person just came running with an axe. And she said she was like scared to death. And then when she came home, she told us the story, and then I went with her, so we went around the block, and I didn't even see her, but she said, I swore I saw her running with an axe, and I thought that was, like, crazy.
It was really cool to be on your podcast. Yeah, it's so cool.
No problem.
It was nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
And I hope you have a good night. All right, goodbye to all who sees this podcast, and, you should try and find him. He's pretty cool. Okay, I need to go now.
All right, bye. I really do understand how their story is. Like, you're talking about, like, watching a scary movie, and then you're, like, bringing in demons, and then it's, like, you're starting to see crazy things going on in someone's life. I've never in my entire life ever had to deal with a demon or a devil or something like that. I mean, yes, I used to play with Satan from the time, but all I can say is, like, don't do anything that's going to bring a Satan into your home, because what you're doing, you're probably going to start, having all these crazy nightmares in your head. Then you're going to start seeing things. I understand how things are, but you got to be careful. So, on that note, be careful what goes on in your house. I know a lot of people go through a lot of crazy things. I know, like, I see videos, and I'm not trying to make this sound discriminating or racist or anything, but you will see, like Latinas, like older mom Latinas, not like too old, but like I said, I'm not trying to be discriminating, but you got like older Latina moms who will basically start saging the entire house, make sure it's like, ghost free, Satan free, demon free. And then you got people that are like, they'll start doing the cross on their chest, like going up, down, left, right, to make sure like there's no evil spirits coming in. If you're one of those people who brings in demons, I'm sorry, but all I can say is I'm going to pray for y'all. Make sure no one doesn't come after y'all. I'm going to go ahead and go. If you guys actually want to be on my podcast, please text 478-901-4445. That's 478-901-4445. And I will talk to you guys next week.